Well, fellow Radiant Stars and Delta Warriors, this was a relatively unscheduled video. Something came to my attention recently in the Deltarune sphere. I want to talk a little bit about it and what my opinions are regarding it. So, if you haven't been on the up and up, apparently what's going on is you have this organization, the Materia Collective, Materia Collective. If you don't know about them, what they basically are is a company that can manage the copyright for things like music, for example. Toby Fox uses the Materia Collective to help manage the copyright of his games, such as people uploading the OST on YouTube. So that brings me to the current situation. So this popped up on my timeline. If you've been involved in Deltarune, you've probably seen this meme, right? Asgore chasing after Des with a truck. And I want to say real quick, do not contact any of the people I talk about in this video. Do not harass them. Do not do anything to them. So they mentioned that they haven't put this on YouTube because anyone using Deltarune melodies, even remixed ones, is still in a danger zone there. Please credit me if you use it elsewhere. Please don't put it on Spotify in any form because I don't own Don't Forget, the in theme from Deltarune Chapter 1. I come down here and I'm like, well, that's kind of weird because you can post Deltarune stuff, but it might get what's called a content ID match. We'll get to that. And that strikes and takedown notices are different. And then OP here says YouTube just took down an entire person's account over Undertale music, and Materia said they didn't even want it to do that. I don't think they want anyone's channels to die. They just literally are not in control of their own power right now, and that's way too dangerous for me to risk. So I go and I do some digging, and I think later on down they mention someone got their entire profile deleted, including multiple channels over Undertale music, and even the rights holder don't want YouTube to do that. So I believe they're referencing Elu Transcendent, which I believe they uploaded video game OSTs and extended them. So if you wanted to listen to them past whatever the normal runtime is, and for Toby Fox, it's usually just one or two loops of the song. So if you want to listen to it for like 10, 30 minutes, or you're using it as a background for a video, this is one of the channels that have you covered. Well, they got yeeted. They got completely nuked by YouTube. Like if we go here, they say, so update regarding this, reached out on a separate part of the thread. Third-party uploads of the game OSTs aren't allowed on YouTube anymore due to AI nonsense, so they had to put in takedown requests. However, I wasn't supposed to receive strikes. I don't mind removing videos, and I sent an email to their support that was mentioned, hoping that strikes are reversed so I could tab my YouTube account back due to everything else associated with it. We'll keep you all updated. Also reaching out to YouTube support with my own appeal on my end immediately sent me an automated denial. You might be going, well, what the hell, Team YouTube? Let's take a look at something real quick. So if we go on here, right, this is the email that was sent to Elu. It says, we have terminated your YouTube channel due to repeated claims of copyright infringement. Your channel currently has 4 copyright strikes. Strike and video information can be found at the bottom of this email. Please understand that YouTube's copyright removal process complies with the law. We strive to be fair to our users and protect their freedom of expression while respecting the legal rights of copyright owners. So, I'm going to hit you with this one. I'm not a lawyer. So if you want a full in-depth dive on this, please contact a lawyer. This is what I've dug up, and my understanding as both a YouTuber who has owned a channel for over 10 years. Granted, 4 of them was me not actively uploading, but I've dealt with this before myself, both getting copyright struck and getting a video blocked, and numerous copyright ID, content ID matches. Because the reason why YouTube gets so gung-ho about this is when it comes to owning a platform where people can upload whatever they want, such as YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, there is something known as the safe harbor law or safe harbor principle. What this basically says is that you are not held legally liable for copyright infringing things that people post on your platform, but you have to be a good warden. So if someone informs you of copyright infringing things, or you become aware of copyright infringing content, you have to do something about it. This came up in a lawsuit that actually happened between YouTube and Viacom many years ago. So rather than just read off Wikipedia and pretend like I'm not reading off Wikipedia, I'll just show you the Wikipedia article. So basically this happened in 2012. Viacom International took YouTube to court, which I think this was shortly after YouTube came under ownership by Google. And the entertainment company Viacom, let me do it in the Ace Combat 5 voice. The entertainment company Viacom sued YouTube, the video sharing site owned by Google, alleging that YouTube had engaged in brazen and massive copyright infringement by allowing users to upload and view hundreds of thousands of videos owned by Viacom without permission. Google was brought into the litigation as YouTube's corporate owner. Google responded that the safe harbor provision, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, shielded the company from liability from the infringing behavior of its users. After initial victory for YouTube at the district court level and then a reversal at the circuit court level, the parties settled out of court in 2014. So what basically happened was Viacom filed a $1 billion with a B dollar use lawsuit against YouTube, because what was going on was that over, as it says, 150,000 unauthorized clips of Viacom's programming, including episodes of many popular television shows, have been made available on YouTube. If you want a really good breakdown of this implement, link it in the description down below. Did a video about this. I'll see if it's still out, but it goes into the whole nuts and bolts. But normally YouTube would have been protected by the safe harbor provision as Google responded. But what happened was, during court proceedings, internal communications at YouTube were subpoenaed by the court. And turns out YouTube was very aware of the infringing materials and were even joking about it and not taking it seriously. So there goes the safe harbor, gone, because they weren't being a good warden and tending their garden, so to speak. So if you're wondering why YouTube's very trigger happy over copyright, you get sued for $1 billion and tell me you're not going to make sure your P's and Q's are taken care of. All right. So with that in mind, there's something brought up called the DMCA, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. This is what protects the IP, intellectual property, and copyright of people in the digital age. When a takedown request is filed against your video, they're using the DMCA to do it. If you run an Etsy shop and you get a takedown notice or whatever because you're trying to use Disney or whatever in your unlicensed third-party merchandise, that is a DMCA claim. If I really want to be that guy and say, hey, don't use my art on my channel without my permission, and I'm going to copyright strike you because you did so to make stickers of Razzle or Bestial Judgment or whatever, that is a DMCA. That is me using the DMCA to enforce. Well, I can't do it over Judgment because she's from Magic Drop 3, but myself. I could do that. So if you've uploaded videos on YouTube, you've probably seen this, right? The dreaded copyright. Here we go. So it pops up here, see details, you click on this, and it tells you, it gives you the 411, right? So it says, what happened? The copyright claims on your video don't affect your channel. This is not a copyright strike. The copyright claims on your videos, okay, they're not a copyright strike, and it says there's no visibility restrictions. So we have welcome to the green room and raise up your bat, that both have been claimed. So we can go see details. If we go to see details, we can see where it tracked it, and it did a pretty good job of finding it, who did it, who the claimant is. So a group named Fuga, on behalf of the Materia Collective, has claimed this, and it tells you what the impact is. So this is monetization, meaning that I might not be able to monetize this video, and if ads are shown on the video, those ad dollars are going to go to the copyright holder instead of myself. Now that kind of sucks, but I remember YouTube back in my day, cue gray hair, when, because I say I'm eternally in my 20s, but it's a long story, but it used to be your videos would just get removed, like they would just delete it, or they would mute it. So I like just, oh hey, we're just gonna monetize the video instead of you. It sucks, but I'd rather have that happen without me knowing or having to catch up on it than my video getting deleted or getting muted or some other nonsense like that. Now what you can do is you can take action. You can erase a song, replace a song, trim the segment out, or dispute. Dispute meaning like you're challenging them and saying, hey, this abides, I have the right to use this abides by fair use, yada yada yada. If you want to dispute, this is when you get in lawyer territory, because you're gonna basically take them on and possibly involve legal action. Now, there are different things that can happen. I don't know if I actually still have this up, so let me see if I can find it. So way back when I used to do videos like this, it's Rocksmith. I'm not going to play it because Robert Fripp is notorious for going after people who upload music from King Crimson. But if we look down here, if vidIQ stops loading in, we can see the visibility is blocked because of copyright. So let's see the details of that. If we see details, we can see that it's fine, nothing's wrong with the channel, but there's no visibility. It can't be seen due to one or more claims. So if we go see details, we can see that Avatar Management GmbH, or Aviator Management GmbH, has claimed this video. They have blocked it. Who are these people? According to my research, they are affiliated or they're utilized by Discipline Music Group, who is owned by Robert Fripp. Yeah, Robert Fripp of King Crimson. Discipline Music Group is basically his record company that he used to obtain the rights to all of King Crimson's music from whatever record companies owned it. And Aviator Management is used by DMG to help them manage copyright stuff on the internet. A lot of companies will do this, such as we saw with Fuga, for example. In the case of a video being blocked, nothing bad happens. You can't, we can see it, but your video's not struck down. No impact to your channel. I see it as a warning shot. I see it as Aviator Management saying, hey, take this warning shot. We're not going to strike your video. We're just going to tell you we don't want people watching this. I'm pretty sure if I were to re-upload this video, they probably would be a bit more hardball with me because I didn't get the hint. So why do I mention all of this? Because I saw this Reddit thread. There was that first thing I saw, so I go and I look this stuff up and I see this being posted in Undertale. This was posted 8 days ago. POV, you are removing the most iconic Undertale soundtracks off the face of the earth. Material Music, and you see this video is no longer available due to a copyright claim by Material Music Inc. O/B on behalf of Royal Sciences LLC. Royal Sciences being an LLC that Toby is using to help manage all of his Deltarune Undertale stuff. So on behalf of means they're acting with their permission, with Toby Fox's permission. Like with Aviator Management, they're acting on behalf of Discipline Music Group. And so we see this little thing on Imgur. And then if we scroll down here, you see another part of the Apostle Puppet Show, Nico kind of saying a thing here. We'll get to this. And then you have Elotran. So Elotran, as I mentioned, would upload extended versions of OSTs from video games. So Elotran got strikes even though, according to a Materia employee, he wasn't supposed to be targeted. This resulted in his entire Gmail account getting deleted. Yeah, if you get struck down like this and your stuff gets deleted, like your channels, it often results in a megaton explosion that'll take out things. Like on Etsy, if your account is deleted due to violating copyright, and you have other Etsy accounts, even if those accounts are in good standing and not violating copyright, and I mean like actually not violating copyright, like you're abiding by all copyright laws, and I mean there's way more than you would think when it comes to copyright. It could result in those accounts getting shut down because you are now a liability, you are now not a good boy, and they have the right to smack you around a bit. So Jamie Materia, and again, please don't contact people and harass them and go, what the hell, because there could be more to this story, says, we published a statement about this recently, but unfortunately we now have to remove third-party uploads of game OSTs to prevent YouTube from opting them into AI nonsense. More here. Of course, we're going to blame the boogeyman AI. That said, there shouldn't have been strikes applied to your channel for this. Please reach out to info@materialmusicpub.com and we'll get that sorted. I don't know why the platform always defaults strikes when we ask them to simply remove content. Let's take a look at something here. So this is a request video removal. Now, nobody's going to get infringed, but I want to show you this form because I don't know how many of you who even actually have YouTube channels have seen this form. Here you can add videos requested for removal, what your content is, so it's original song, software, artwork, etc. You can add multiple videos to this list, by the way. The copyright owner, all the information, like this is lawyer territory really if you're doing something like this. And removal options. You have scheduled, send a 7-day notice. Once the request is validated, YouTube gives the uploader 7 days to remove the video and avoid a copyright strike. If they don't, the video is removed after 7 days. Standard, request removal now. These removals can lead to a copyright strike. YouTube processes the video removal after validating the request. They're saying they don't know why YouTube always strikes channels. That's because that's literally part of how they do things. Let's pull up another webpage. Alright, so here we are on YouTube's help page. So this is legit, support.google.com/YouTube answer/2807622. Submit a copyright removal request. If your copyright protected work was posted on YouTube without your authorization, you can submit a copyright removal request to request that content be removed. Submitting a copyright removal request is a legal process. Again, lawyer territory. So it talks about what you can do. Does this have the diagram? No, it doesn't. Okay. Oh, here we go. Copyright removal request process. So we go to that link there. Let's give it some time. And we see down here, after removal request is submitted, YouTube reviews it to make sure that it has the information required by applicable copyright law and shows no signs of abuse. If the removal request passes the review, YouTube removes the alleged infringing content to comply with applicable copyright law. So the reason why YouTube gets gung-ho about this, outside of like the getting sued by Viacom thing, they also are legally obligated to do so under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act and to retain protection under the Safe Harbor provisions. So when a copyright request is submitted, copyright removal request is submitted, their hands are tied. They have to do it. If everything checks out, they have to. So that's why like Elu over here is saying like, oh, you know, YouTube is doing whatever. And they tried to appeal it and YouTube said no, because they're uploading OSTs for video game music they don't own the rights to. So as much as it sucks, they are violating copyright. And you know, we might think, oh well, it's old video games, who cares? Or it's, you know, video game music, who really cares? But you know, there are copyright holders that are like that about it. There's been plenty of channels that have had to struggle with that, with copyright holders coming in and striking things down like that. I wish more would use the block feature, because going back over to the video details, so when something is published that infringes your copyright, like this, that Aviator group, right, they got a notification saying, hey yo, you might want to check this out. This video is using something that you made, your copyrighted stuff, or something that you're in charge of or whatever. And then they can decide on what they want to do. You can even auto set it to either auto block or put ads, things like that. So you can automatically set it. I don't think you can auto set a takedown request, but you can auto set it to be blocked at the very least. I've ran into this a problem when I've wanted to use copyrighted music, and there is a I don't know where. Okay, I thought you could search things, but I know there's a way to get to a version of the audio library. I don't know if they took it out, where you can check the license type and what goes on with it. Like if it's just like, oh, we'll put ads on your video, or oh, it's blocked, you can't use a song, even if it's not for profit or whatever. So you can stay abreast of that. Getting back on track here. If we go down here and it says if content is removed, if the removal request is processed, the content is removed from YouTube and a copyright strike is applied to the uploader's channel, the uploader has 3 options to resolve a copyright strike. So if you follow this flowchart here, nothing happens, video stays on YouTube, video removed, copyright strike on uploader's channel. This is literally how they do things. So they would have to go out of their way to talk to YouTube and say, hey, can you take this stuff down, and not issue copyright strikes. If they're going through the normal process that I showed you here, it's going to take the video down and issue a strike. It's a takedown notice. It's a DMCA notice. And that either means that Materia Collective is trying to cover their ass because they're aware of this, they're aware that things are being struck down, or they're just that ignorant to where they don't know that's how it goes. Now, I'm not saying Jamie Materia is the one being ignorant here, because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It could very well be that they decided to do something about this. Materia Collective decided to do something about this, and maybe someone got assigned a task of, hey, deal with finding these copyrighted things on YouTube and file requests or whatever, and somehow the assignment was misunderstood, and they're going with the nuclear option. If they have you have Material Collective using a third party, like we saw with my video when it got claimed. Let me see here. So see, we see Fuga. It could be Fuga doing it. So it could be Material Collective entrusts Fuga to help handle their legal side of things, and Fuga is the one striking things down, and Material Collective's like, what the hell are you doing? We don't want you doing that. That's not what we wanted. Either way, things aren't working out the way that Materia Collective wanted. If we're going with looking at things from the giving them the benefit of the doubt, because we don't know what's going on. A number of things should be going on behind the scenes, right? It could be Fuga Collective taking a nuclear option. It could be somebody in Materia Collective not getting the assignment and taking a nuclear option, because again, you can file to have a video blocked. Granted, I don't think there's a way to mass file videos to get blocked, like with channel copyright. I'm not sure, as I've never actually had YouTube tell me, hey, someone's ripping you off, right? Because that's what copyright down here is. I can see if anything's matched. That's I have on YouTube or whatever. So what can you do about this? Until this whole situation with Materia Collective gets sorted, honestly, I wouldn't upload any remixes or anything to YouTube if they're getting this cavalier about it, because you're in danger. Because once a copyright strike happens, now, well, actually, I think if it's a copyright strike and it's a remix, again, I'm not a lawyer, you have more wiggle room, because you could say that's a cover song. That's a bit different than uploading an animation and using the songs from the OST. But it's clear here that if Jamie is to be believed, and until I see otherwise, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say yes, they are to be believed. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, because again, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. This isn't what they want. This isn't what Materia Collective is trying to do. We're just trying to get videos removed. Now, on the dark side, we could say that Materia Collective knows that strikes are issued, because this has happened before with Undertale. Because I remember seeing Materia Collective come up before. But until we really know for sure, the best thing to do, again, is just be careful. I'm hoping my videos get spared, because you can click through them, you can see that they're just Let's Plays. But if whoever's managing this is just clicking the button, knock all of these out, my channel could be in danger too. I might mute those songs, even though it's me talking over. Aside from the only one that got hit with the copyright was this down here, which interestingly enough was actually a cover version. So it wasn't even it was like someone's cover version. So like this, I could probably contact Materia Music Publishing and say, hey, this got flagged, and work it out with them. I can't really dispute this, because disputing is you're saying it's original content, I have a license, a copyright exception such as fair use, which playing a segment of the song without me commentating over it, I think that's fair use, or public domain. So in that case, I could probably hit up Materia Collective on Twitter and be like, hey, what's going on here? My thing got flagged. But it's just, there's something wrong going on here. I don't think it's YouTube this time. I'm not trying to protect the big evil corporation, but if we are going to go through and talk about like, hey, this is a sitch going on, we need to be able to do the research and like see what's really going on. Who to point the finger at? Because YouTube is just getting these requests and going, okay, done. You're the copyright owner, you're filing a takedown request, done. And as we've seen with the channel copyright form, it says if you schedule or you request removal, it removes the video and it can result in a copyright strike. This here actually says avoid a copyright strike. Just typically a takedown request, not a block, a takedown request, it's a copyright strike. Content ID matches are not copyright strikes. That's just YouTube telling you, hey, this match is something that's been uploaded that's owned by somebody else, and here's what you can do about that. Until this gets sorted out and we, as a community, fellow Delta Warriors and Radiant Stars, can be assured that we're not going to get struck down, that we're not going to get removed for uploading tribute songs or uploading remixes, or even just using the song in a animation, we gotta be careful. I'm gonna leave my Let's Plays up and see what happens. I'm hoping they don't get hit by this copyright termination wave, because you have to come in here and you have to manually put these in. So I'm gonna be stupid and hope that the person putting these things in can at least differentiate and go, oh, that's a gameplay video, that's not just someone uploading a soundtrack. But until then, take care, and we'll just have to see how the chips fall. And fellow Delta Warriors and Radiant Stars, just remember, no matter what anyone says, you are a beautiful star. Take care and stay safe out there.